And at my age, trust me, you want things a little bit bigger. I'm almost 60. It's just the beginning of middle age. I decided that middle age starts at 55. And you're not old unless you're 75, which is exactly when I want to retire, assuming I can make it there. I told you about my dream dying scenario, right? I want to die right here while I'm lecturing so that I'll give you a permanent trauma. Revenge beyond the grave. That's the terminal value. If I know the terminal value, all I have to do is discount that for 3 years. That gets me the second stage. Take the terminal value, divide that by 1 plus the discount rate raised to the power number of known dividends. So for this hypothetical firm, the value of the early firm is 1065. Value of the late firm is 6520. To figure out the value of the firm, all I have to do is add them up, right? And that's precisely what I'm going to do right here. Value of the early firm plus, let me copy and paste the format. I'm going to make this a little bit different because I want to make that red and a bit white. Don't worry about all that right-hand side value stuff. That comes in only when we're solving for an unknown. That's it. We've done it. Up to and at least 15 known dividends. If you tell me what those known dividends are, if you tell me the discount rate, number of known dividends, and the second stage growth rate, this is going to tell you the value of the firm. So let me save this as I'm going to have to close it to post it on Blackboard. If you have already done your own sheet and you want to continue with that, that's fine. Otherwise, you can download this and we're going to solve problems using this. So I'll give you about a minute for you to do it. Remember, you still have to make sure that it's unlocked so that you can actually implement the macros associated with, especially the solar mode. It still will work in the setup mode. Ready? So let's solve some problems starting with simple stuff. The simplest is case 0. What is the growth rate for the case 0? Case zero means dividends are constant. So if they are constant, what's the growth rate? If something doesn't change, does it grow? No. So that's zero. Let's assume an R of 12%. Obviously, you know only one dividend, and that dividend is just the next one. And let's assume a $1.25 dividend. You don't need to know anything else. So let's implement that. Let me write it here first. In the DGM template, use R equals 12%. Let me actually write them. Required rate 12%. Second stage growth, 0%. Number of known dividends, those are your four inputs. If you have numbers for after that, we already made sure that calculations ignore those using those if statements. So if you had something left over there, we're going to completely ignore it. So, and for now, I don't need to know what the market price is, but there's an arbitrary number there. In fact, I'm going to make that just blank. My required rate of return is 12, growth rate is 0, T is 1, and buck 25 is the value of the firm. Technically speaking, I didn't have to divide this into early and late, but you know, this basically says value of that first dividend is 112, and value of all the 125 dividends you're going to get after that is 930. Add them up, you get 1042. If we had done that by hand, it's always a good idea to kind of check. Remember, value equals, let me change the color. And 25 divided by 0.12. What do you know? 1042. Rounded to a cent. So we know we're on the right track. Next, we're going to do a simple case one. Suppose dividends, first dividend is buck 25, and after that, dividends are going to go at a constant rate of 5%. I'm going to actually make it 7% to make the mental calculation easy. All I have to do is just change second stage growth rate. All of our other inputs are same. I know the first dividend, so T is 1, and R is still 12%. Come on, I did not want to do that. Just change the second stage growth to 7 and total value of the firm 25. I picked 7 on purpose. And how to check that? And that's equal to, come on. Scratch is supposed to raise, but not 1.2, 12. Dividing by 5% is equivalent to multiplying by 20. So that's exactly 25 bucks. Okay. So we know we've done that correctly as well. Whenever you develop software, and trust me, what we have done in that template is software. It happens to be simple, doesn't need much coding, but it is software. Always test simple cases to make sure that things work. Now let's do a general case. Now, suppose I know 3 dividends. When I say no, I mean I can forecast them. Hence, T equals 3. Maybe the firm grows a little bit faster earlier on. And after that, it's going to grow at the rate of 5%. Okay. There's not much more effort to make the calculations. Well, my number of known dividends is 3. First is buck 25, then buck 50, buck 75. It completely ignores everything after that. But I'm kind of anal about these things, so I'm going to make them zeros. Not that it makes any difference. And growth rate is 5%. Done. Or let's keep the original 7% just for the purposes of comparison.